Okay, so hi everyone, good evening. Hope you all are doing good. Today we are going to cover a third session. We started with BA roles and responsibilities, when we ended where we discussed what a BA will be doing, and then in our second session we talked about uh, all of these responsibilities BA would be performing in a project. So, what is a project? We discussed about what is the life cycle of a project. And then we discussed about in IT, what do we call SDLC? What is SDLC? How SDLC works? What are the different types of project we have seen? What are the different phases of project? Right. Now we are looking at, now I know that what BA's responsibilities are. He would be working in a project, how a project looks like. Now, what are the ways of executing this project? Yesterday we discussed there was one method that is known as waterfall method. Today we are going to discuss another method which is widely accepted and has been used in most of the project that comes under ServiceNow. So that other methodology is Agile. So first let's take a quick recap. Waterfall is a linear sequential approach. Each phase must be completed before we move on to the next. The flow looks like this: requirement, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. There are some benefits, there are some disadvantages. Benefits are that it has a clear structure, it is documentation heavy, and whenever we know that my requirements are fixed, the requirements are same, they are not going to change, then I can use waterfall. But if my requirements keep changing, right? If I'm working, which happens most of the time, that you will start working on a project, you can have many ideas of changing it or bringing it, I mean, improvising the project or maybe bring in new features. So in that case, you can incorporate those changes. So for that, we're going to use Agile. Now, what is Agile? So in short, I would say Agile is like a mindset. It is a way of working that says or that focuses on few parameters. Those parameters are that you want to make a project flexible, right? You do not want to hard code that you will have to follow these rules. I mean, there are certain rules, but then it is flexible to incorporate changes. It is flexible to bring in communication. That is next thing. Flexible, it brings in collaboration. As in you are moving from one stage, or I would say, suppose these are your normal stages: requirement gathering, then design, then I have development, then testing, deployment, and deployment is another term for go live. Go live means I'm moving into prod. After I move any product into prod, then I will have maintenance of that project, which is also known as maintenance and support. So these are my different, I'm sorry, these are my different phases: requirement, then I have design, then I have dev, then there is test, and I have deployment, and then I have maintenance. So when I'm using Agile, which is a core topic today, so it makes that I will be able, I am flexible while going through these stages. I will bring in collaboration. Like in Agile, like in Waterfall, only at this stage, test and deployment, customer will be able to know what is my working product. But in case of agile, you are involving them from right in each of the stages. And I'll discuss what are the other benefits. Then I can deliver customer value and quick delivery. In this case, if I'm working on a project that is consider it is 6 months long. So maybe in the fourth, or I would say fifth or 6 months, you will know that how your product is shaping up. But in case if you are going with agile, maybe in the first or second month, you will know how a product is shaping up. So whenever you have started working on any of the project, you create a MVP. You would have heard this term. If not, then you will be hearing this term more often. MVP is minimum viable product, right? It means I will suppose this is my main product and it will have many features. I'm just randomly putting in different colors so that you know that it will have different um, modules or different part of it. Now, what is MVP? MVP will be like this. This is my shorted part and something like this. I hope it gives a clarity. See, this is my main product. I'll call my product, and this is MVP. MVP means I'll have some essential features in a product that I want to see or that is on priority so that it gives a confidence to my customer or my client that yes, the team I am working with, the implementation team I am working with, they will be able to deliver something to me by end of 6 months, 7 months, or 8 months. But MVP in the starting, you will select maybe suppose by end of the seventh or eighth month in the entire project, you are going to deliver maybe 40 features in a product, right? But in MVP, you might deliver only maybe 5 to 8 features, which are very important for this product and those are prioritized. Or maybe you will have a discussion with the client product owner that we are going to deliver this MVP. This is the case wherein you are working on a greenfield implementation, right? Yesterday we discussed greenfield implementation is something which we are doing it from scratch. But in case of enhancement, in case of support, you might not go with MVP because that is you're enhancing a product. Right. So that is what MVP is. So you are quickly delivering those small features, and you are building a trust, and you are giving a working prototype or maybe a working product, even if it is a smaller part to the customer. So these are the benefits of a agile project. We also, so as I mentioned, short development cycles known as sprint. So this complete entire project will be divided into smaller sprints. Sprint would be usually of 2 to 4 weeks. One sprint can be of minimum 2 weeks and maximum 4 weeks. So what is going to happen in a sprint? We'll see in a while. It has frequent feedback. So you are continuously in touch with your customer and taking their inputs. So that if any input is coming, any changes are coming, you are welcoming those changes and you are incorporating those changes. So that is the benefit of Agile. Agile helps team deliver working software faster with fewer surprises. Surprises means if you are not keeping your customer in uh, uh, connect with the process of SDLC, then by test or deployment phases, customer would be having a different expectation and what you are delivering will be a different game. So to avoid those surprises means to avoid those defects and to avoid those assumed requirements that customer had in the starting and they are expecting here and you have not delivered it. For that purpose, agile is the best way to work in that environment because you are keeping your stakeholders involved in all of these phases and you are suppose this is an entire 6 month you are squeezing it into a 1 month of these 2 to 4 weeks. You are not taking entire project, you are only taking MVP, smaller features, and then you're delivering it. So that is agile. A quick difference between waterfall and agile. Waterfall is linear phase, agile is iterative cycles. As in, I have one cycle of 2 weeks or 4 weeks, then I have again, maybe by end of 6 months, I'll have 7 to 8 sprints, smaller sprints, in which I would have delivered the product. Requirements decided early. Requirements are fixed and decided in the starting phase. Here, requirements keep evolving. It is less customer involvement. Here you have heavy customer involvement. It is slower to deliver value because the value will be realized in this phase, maybe after 5 or 6 months. But here, in the first month itself or second month itself, you will get those values. Then, hard to incorporate changes. Changes are welcome. So these are the reason why Agile is preferred over Waterfall. Now, quick Agile manifesto. I mean, Agile is a process, Agile is a methodology which has some core values. Those core values says that I want to prefer individuals and interaction over process and tools. Instead of following process or tools or everything, I want to have an interaction with the customer, with the individuals, and I want to solve their concerns, their queries. At the same time, I want to showcase them a working product. So your focus is on working software over documentation. Rather than I want to show everything on page, I want to show it working on a software. You welcome customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change. So these are some values, core values of Agile. Few things more that I want to add. These are the principles that you will see that Agile is following, that you want to deliver early and continuously. You want to welcome changing requirements. You want to work closely with stakeholders. You want to deliver working product frequently. You want to keep things very simple, reflect and improve. That is retrospective. Now, as I'm mentioning these principles, there are some good number of principles that you will find. I can share those information with you. But for now, I'm only sharing this part which is relevant for you, which you will be using and you will be realizing while working in a agile project. So few things that you will be looking at here is
Recording in progress.
here come principle. So first part that you are delivering here. You are delivering early and continuously because you have broken down the complete product into smaller sprints. I will discuss all of these words. Like now you must be confused with what is sprint. what is retrospective, and the collaboration is very much clear, flexible, customer value, quick delivery. Let me mark these words. Sprint, retrospective. Now, you're welcome. You'll welcome changing requirements. So customer can bring in that they want to improve this requirement, they want to evolve this requirement, and there will be maybe on sometimes it can happen that you might have a daily connect with the stakeholder, as in with the product owner from the client side, or on the weekly connect. So totally optional, but usually they will connect on alternate days. Maybe in the starting they might connect on daily basis. So the connect happens on daily basis, or they can happen on alternate or weekly basis, depending on what stage your product is. Maybe in the starting, the connect would be on daily basis, and thereon daily, alternate, or weekly. So that's on the connect. Then you are delivering quick delivery by shorter sprints. Sprints are already short. Then working closely with stakeholder, delivering working product, keeping things simple, reflect and improve. Reflect and improve is basically review and retro. Review means that at the end of or in the mid of the sprint, you want to have a review with customer, wherein you can showcase what you have done, if there is any challenge, if you need any help, or you can showcase the progress. At the same time, retrospective happens at the end of after sprint is over to see what best worked for you, what could have been done better, right? So these are some quick principles of agile that helps customer uh, to keep involved into the project and also seek their feedback and approval while working or while moving into the project. Now, before I move forward, I want to take a pause and I'll take questions. So first part is agile. Uh, as in we have seen the project execution, first method is waterfall and second method is agile. But agile is a methodology. To deliver agile, we have different frameworks like agile, and then I have frameworks that uses agile methodology. What are those framework? One of them framework is Scrum. Other framework is Safe. Then there is Kanban. Then we have XP. And there are more. But all of them serves different purpose. Scrum is used whenever we are into a smaller projects, right? Safe is used when we have large projects. We have multiple sprints going on. So in Safe, I have ART, which is known as Agile Release Train. And then Kanban is a method wherein it says it shows different stages of a project and then you can move. But out of all of them, this part, Scrum, is being widely used. That's why you will see there are a lot of certifications on Scrum as well, Scrum and Safe. First Scrum, then Safe. So you can call it like Scrum is for smaller projects and Safe is for larger projects. So we will be discussing about Scrum. So how in Agile methodology, we are going to use Scrum framework. So before I move forward, any questions so far from anyone? Then I'll discuss about Scrum.
Hey, hi Jay, this is Rajdeep. I have a one
Hi,
question.
Rajni.
Out of curiosity, wanted to ask one thing. So, since you
Mhm.
mentioned about the smaller sprints, so
Mhm.
in the smaller sprints also like for 2 to 4 weeks, so do that
Mhm.
like that smaller sprint like sprints also has an MVP. Like for example, in a smaller sprint, like for example, there are two features which needs to be released in 2 to 4
Mhm.
weeks. So out of them, like are there like one feature has to go live or something like a minimum viable point or something? Is it like that also can be a possibility or it is not a possibility?
Okay, I'll tell you. So, consider that your project is divided into like this. First, I'll tell you month. For now, I'm taking only 3 months. Okay, that is month one, month two, and month three. I'm assuming that each of the month I'll have only 4 weeks. Though there will be a clash, sometimes might be five, sometimes it might be 4.5. For now, I'm taking only 4 weeks. Week two, week three, week four, week five, week six, week seven, or let me extend it. Right. So one, two, three. Now, when you will start working on a project, MVP says that maybe you take some time, week one, week two, week three, week four, like this. I do not want all the product in the first month itself, but in first month itself, you deliver few of the features, which are important features. For example, let's take an example of Instagram. Now, if I ask you to give me features, you can at least give me 20 to 30 features of an Instagram. All of Either you can use Instagram, Facebook, or WhatsApp, any of them, right? You can give me like these many features. There is story. If I talk about WhatsApp, there is status, there is community, there is sending message, receiving message, business. There are a lot of things. But if I ask you to give me a MVP of WhatsApp, so in that MVP, what you will tell me? My basic features are send message, receive message, or maybe I can add some attachment. Right. At least if I give this in the starting week, that becomes my MVP. Now I have something to showcase. Now on top of it, I can start building in upcoming weeks and upcoming months. Maybe I'll add the option of status. Then I will add the option of maybe community, or I can add the option of ticks, single tick, double tick, blue tick, right, which will tell me whether message has been read or not. Then I'll add the message of see. So after then I'll keep on adding these features. So in that case, I am incrementing that product. I'll discuss about what is product increment in a while. But I think now you will have a good idea what is an MVP and what is your complete product. Does that answer your question, Rajdeep?
Yeah, got it, got it, got it. So basically,
Okay.
yeah, I got it now. Like,
Mhm,
so even in the smaller sprints are there, it's being divided
mhm.
on terms of the on the total project, like, and then it is that.
Right. And
My
there are a lot
understanding,
of
yeah, my understanding was like something like even in the smaller sprints, like something there can be a chances of an MVP or something. But then now I got it when you made it clear. It will be a total like a whole project, and then out of them, like initially, like the MVPs are decided, and then it's being distributed across the months, right?
Right, right, right.
Yep, got it. Thank you for.
So MVP works for the starting month. Then thereon, you start um, uh, improving your product, or I would say you will start adding features to your product. Any other question from anyone? Okay, then let me move to the next topic. I'll take more question at the end. Then I'll have one method of delivering agile that is known as Scrum framework. What Scrum framework is a most widely used agile framework. There are many certifications. There is PSM, there is CSM, and Scrum Master and all, right? Now, what it does, so Scrum has these four parts. First, we should know what are the different roles in a Scrum, as in what are the different personas who are going to work in a Scrum framework. What are the different ceremonies? See, in Scrum, you call meetings as ceremonies. Then you have artifacts. What is it that you are going to deliver? And you are going to deliver all of them in sprints. So a Scrum will have these 4 points. If you know these 4 points, you are done with Scrum. At least this is needed for you to actually work on the ground. So in Scrum, I have roles, then I have meetings, and I have artifacts, and then I have sprints. Now there will be more terms which are coming up. We'll discuss about all of those one by one and sprint. We'll give it a different color. So if I talk about roles, these are your different roles in Scrum. First role is product owner. Product owner is someone who lives this product, who knows everything about a product. Not as a working product, but he knows what we are going to include. And usually this product owner is from customer side. PO is from customer side because he will have a very good understanding about the product. And even if you are bringing PO from the implementation team, he will be working with the customers to understand their requirements and understand how a product will look like, what all features, what all functionalities that product will be having. So product owner owns the product backlog. I'll discuss what is backlog in a while. I'll show one diagram that will clear those things. Then he will prioritize user stories. I'll also discuss what is user stories. Though we did a quick introduction in one of the classes, but we'll take it. Represent business need. As I mentioned, that he will be talking or she will be talking to the customer and taking their requirements. So that is product owner for you. Now next is Scrum Master. Scrum Master is someone who is actually taking control of the sprint, who will be scheduling these different meetings, who will be managing the product. I mean, Scrum Master would be, see, this Scrum would be performed on certain product. You can perform these Scrum activities on ServiceNow. There is one product in ServiceNow which is known as, um, earlier it was Agile Development, and now it has changed, recently changed. We'll discuss about the changed one. I'll also discuss about Agile Development. But you will be familiar with it once I tell you that there is another product in market, Jira. In Jira, you can write user stories. That is a famous one. Then we also have Azure DevOps. There also you can run all of these Scrum. You can organize meetings, you can organize these stories, and you will run those sprint. all the sprint that I'm mentioning. We'll do a demo. We'll do this theory part. We'll also do a hands-on practice once we'll start service now. So Scrum Master will facilitate different meetings. He will try to remove the blockers and he will protect the team. And he will actually, Scrum Master is the one who will guide the team, who will mention that what needs to be done. But he will only be taking care from the Scrum point of view, not from the ServiceNow technical point of view. For those things, I have a development team. Development team will have, they will configure, they will develop, they will test, and they will deliver product. Then fourth person in my Scrum roles are BA. Now BA's role is spread across all of these different personas. He will be working with product owner to understand what product is requiring. On based on those, he will be working on the requirements, then he will be working with the user stories. So they'll work on refining the requirements and help in backlog refinement. He will also help clearing the acceptance criteria. If the team has some question, this team development team will reach out to BA and he will clarify it. Now, next thing is all of the project might not have Scrum Master. So in that case, BA can fill in the shoes of Scrum Master. And that is the reason we are incorporating Scrum in our training. So in case if a customer says, I do not want to have an additional resource in my team to fill in Scrum Master's role, I want BA to take that activity. So we'll discuss how a BA would be performing those activities. So tomorrow, if you are to work as a Scrum Master, you should be able to do it. So Scrum Master, then I have implementation team when BA is involved. Definitely, there are developers, there are testers, right? So these are the different roles. When I say meetings, meetings are, I'll come here, agile ceremonies. So we have 4 meetings. So first meeting is sprint planning. Sprint planning says that if I am saying my sprint is for 2 weeks, so what all stories will be going into the sprint? Oh, wait. Let me first discuss what is a user story. So user story is, as we mentioned that I went on requirement gathering sessions. From requirement gathering session from the client, we finalized requirements, right? So based on it, we created business requirement document, then we created functional requirement document. Once these are freezed, then I will create user stories. So user story would be like these are my different requirements that are freezed. Then maybe I have taken an MVP. So in this MVP, I'm saying there is a feature. Maybe if I take this example of Instagram or WhatsApp, my first feature is send message. So the story for send message would be as a user. So first of all, a user story has a format. Or if you ask me what exactly is the definition, so user story is the smallest unit of requirement that clarifies, that provides acceptance criteria, and it will tell you that what feature a product would be having. Right, smallest unit of requirement that clarifies who is the persona, what he or she would be doing, and what benefits you will get out of the action that you have taken. So this is the format of user story. How do we write a user story for sending a message? I will write a message as a user. I want to send a message using WhatsApp so that I can convey my message and it is received by intended person. So this is the way I will write user stories. And these user stories are something that I will be delivering in these sprints. So in a sprint, I can have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 user stories. How do we decide what all stories are there? How things will work on? That we will discuss in agile development session that we'll do. So that is a sprint. A sprint will have an acceptance criteria. What is acceptance criteria? That if someone has to work on this story, there should be some criteria to accept this story. How do we accept this user story? That as I'm saying that as a user, I want to send a message. First, a user should have access to this device, or I can call it WhatsApp. Second, a user should be able to send message, or there should be a confirmation of sending message, right? Then once message is sent, there should be a confirmation that message is received. Now this all will make sense because we have done this WhatsApp day in, day out. For example, when you send a message, you will see there is a single tick. At least your message is sent. When it is a double tick and blue tick, it means the message has been received and read. So those are your acceptance criteria. And this is how a story is created for sending message. This is your user story in short. We will be writing these user stories for ServiceNow's product. Tomorrow we'll be working with ITSM or HRSD or any other product, maybe CSM or GRC or some other product. So they will have some features. Those features will be written down like this. So what we'll do in this meeting, first part is sprint planning. First, I've decided that I'm going to work on a 2 week sprint. In 2 week sprint, how many user stories team will pick user stories for upcoming sprint. That maybe I'm saying that I will take 10 user story or maybe 7 user story. So those will be delivered in a sprint. So that all of the discussion will be happening in sprint planning. Then comes my once I've decided that these are my stories, this is my sprint that I'm going to deliver. It is starting from week 1 and it will be for 2 weeks. Then I will have a daily stand-up. In daily stand-up, the Scrum Master would be checking like who is working on which story. What is the update? We will discuss about update, what we discussed yesterday, what we are doing today, or we have, in case we have any blocker, let's discuss and we will quickly wrap up. So duration of the sprint, for sprint planning usually happens between 30 to 60 minutes, but this happens in the starting of the sprint or before the sprint has started. Daily stand-up happens for 15 minutes on daily basis, not more than 15 minutes. Just a quick checkup. What are stories you're working on? Do you have any question? What you're going to do today? What we did yesterday? If there is any blocker, you will discuss that in separate meeting by bringing in separate stakeholder. That is daily stand-up. Then you have sprint review. See, what did I do? What will I do? Any blockers? Sprint review is, as I mentioned, if it is a 4 week sprint, then you can have a sprint review in like after 2 weeks, to showcase what we are doing in case we have any challenge or any feedback from the customer. Or you will do it at the end if the sprint is only for 2 weeks. Then I have retrospective. Retrospective is what went well, what didn't, and how to improve, what to improve. Sprint retro. So these are your, in meetings, this is what you have. Then if I move to the next part, user story is created. So these are your Scrum artifacts, which is my next point, artifacts. Sprints we have discussed. Sprint is um, like smaller duration in which we will deliver features or working product. It usually happens 2 to 4 weeks. Then artifacts are something which is known as product backlog. Product backlog is that maybe I am working on multiple products. So I have, see how it works. I'll show you one diagram. I think that will clarify everything. So product backlog is master list of all the requirements. So all the requirements, all the user stories that you are creating, these user stories. So you will stack up. Suppose this is your bucket, and in this bucket you are writing user story. You will keep writing user story 1, then user story 2, and so on. So let me extend it. Right. So you have these user story uh, till 12. Maybe this is your backlog. Then sprint backlog. Sprint backlog means, see, for this 2 weeks, you know what is a sprint, but you do not only plan for 2 weeks. You will be planning for next 2 or 3 months. That here I'll have my first sprint, then I'll have my sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4, sprint 5. So that is my sprint backlog. Stories selected for current sprint. Then I'll have increment. Increment means right now I am only delivering these three features, right? But after my second sprint, I'll have two more features. So my product is incrementing. Then I'll have two more features. Then again it is incrementing. So after each sprint cycle, the product is incrementing. As in product is you are adding features and product is shaping up. So that is known as product increment. So working product delivered at sprint end. Then we have discussed already user stories and acceptance criteria. So these are your artifacts that are completely on this agile tool. Agile tool can be ServiceNow's tool we can use, or we can use Jira, or we can use Azure DevOps. So these are the tools that you will use to deliver Scrum Agile. So let me highlight it. These are your tools. Now, as I'm mentioning these tools, I will definitely show you how it works on ServiceNow and Jira. Two tools will cover. So that tomorrow, if you are into a project, into a company, that company says that we only work in Jira, you should be able to work in Jira. And they say you want to work in ServiceNow, you should be able to work in ServiceNow. But even in other case, that if they have Azure DevOps, you will be able to work. Why? Because we have understood this concept. This concept remains same whether we work in ServiceNow, Jira, or Azure DevOps. For example, if I ask you to draw a diagram, maybe we will use the tool Visio. We can work it on Draw, or maybe tomorrow if there is a new tool, maybe Lucid Chart or some other tool, you will be able to work because you know what needs to be drawn. Then you will figure out on the go. So this is what the entire sprint looks like. So when I say product backlog, so you will have all the requirements being captured here. So you'll write user stories here. You will have different products being mentioned here. So it works like I'll have product backlog works like this. So this is my maybe product one, and here I can have product two. And from here, I'll discuss that what all sprints I'm going to work on. And then these are my sprint. I'll call it sprint one, sprint two, sprint three. So I'll give it a distribution. And then I'll start picking the stories from here. Now, if I go back to these meetings, so first part is sprint planning. So in sprint planning, I'll discuss what all stories I'm going to pick. I'll put it in the sprint, and then comes so this is known as sprint planning. See, sprint planning, I have picked the stories, I picked the sprint which I want to deliver, maybe this sprint. It has 3 stories. These stories are picked from product backlog. See, this is list of stories. And then I have decided I want to go with this sprint. I'll pick this sprint, and in planning, this is what started. Then maybe depending on 1 to 4 weeks, then I'll start. There will be implementation, there will be review, there will be retrospective. And in between, maybe if it is for 1 week or 2 week or 3 weeks, I'll have a daily scrum. Daily scrum happens for 15 minutes on daily basis, and then you will start delivering it. At the end of the sprint, I'll provide a completed product, like first part completed, then second part, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. And that is where at the end of sixth, seventh, or eighth month, I'll deliver the complete product. So this is a typical sprint looks like. With this, if I tell you the BA's responsibilities in Agile, you will write your responsibility is to write and refine user stories, define acceptance criteria, prioritize with PO, facilitate communication between business and development team, participate in sprint ceremonies, support demo and UAT. In addition to Scrum Master's role, in case Scrum Master is not there. I'll take a pause. I'll take your questions, and after that, we'll hand it over to Satish. Let me know if you have any question.
Hey Jay, this is Archana.
Yes, Archana.
Hi. Just to clarify, ServiceNow
Mhm.
is to Jira like Lucid and others are to Visio. So it's basically like a tool for user story and other Scrum related activity management.
Okay. So, good question. So, ServiceNow is not. So, you think about any tool that maybe just think about any tool. Maybe you know that there is a tool called Salesforce. Salesforce has CRM. So, what ServiceNow is doing? ServiceNow started with ITSM. ITSM is a ticketing tool wherein you can raise tickets like incident, change, problem, request, right? It started with ITSM, then it started expanding its portfolio. It moved into HRSD, moved into CSM, GRC, and there is a product called SPM, which is known as Strategic Portfolio Management. Earlier, they used to call it ITBM. In ITBM, it is more like you will have some part of project management. It also deals with Agile. So there is in this platform, in ServiceNow platform, there is a product called SPM. Under SPM, it delivers some functionalities which can be delivered by Agile also, which can be delivered by Jira. That is what
Got
happens. So you will be able to do this, whatever you will do in Jira, you will be able to do it in ServiceNow as well. So since some customers who are using ServiceNow, they would say that if that functionality is already present in ServiceNow, why do I need to go out to other tools?
True, true. Makes sense.
Right. So that in that scenario, we'll do both ServiceNow and I'll do additionally Jira as well, so that you're comfortable with both of the tools.
Right, right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other question from anyone? If not a question, then tell me how was the session? Anything that you didn't able to understand, or any other information, or any other point?
I have to say,
Yes.
Jay, your presentation and the way you teach is like absolutely amazing. It's really, really good. I
Thank you.
understand
Thank you so much.
everything. You pace it so well, and the way you answer questions and present the material, it's really, really amazing. So I've been really enjoying it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Archana. Thank you for the kind words. Yes, Karis. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, right?
No, that's no, no. But do you guys offer
Um,
type of
I'm not able to hear you. Is it same for everyone, or is it only for me?
Yeah, I cannot hear him either.
Can you type in your question in the chat, please? Meanwhile, we can take a question from Pawan.
yeah? Hi Jay.
Hello.
I I agree with Archana. I really like the
Hi,
way
can
you're
I just
presenting.
ask you a question here, Jay? Are we gonna get the gloss for all the words because all the abbreviations, especially for like someone like me who's a newcomer?
Okay. First of all, thank you, Pawan. Thank you for the kind words. Bhavin, yes, definitely you will receive all of these things. So this is an introduction session when I want to take it slow and also want to make sure that you are able to understand my way of teaching and also what we are teaching. So the plan is at the end of each of the phases. I mentioned there are 5 phases to this training. So at the end of each phase, I will definitely share glossary, all of these terms as I'm mentioning. I'll also share one reference study material. So tomorrow, if you say that, Nishant, whatever, or Jay, whatever this slide you are using, we want to look at it. So I'll provide a more detailed Word document that you can refer to, which will cover whatever we have discussed. So that will answer your queries. At the same time, we will not only limit to this study material. From next week, like from Monday onwards, you will receive some assignment as well. We'll do something in the class, and I'll also share some assignment for you to work on your own. Does that answer your question, Bhavin?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Keris, can you
Yeah.
type in your question, please?
Hello, Jay.
Yes,
Renuka here.
yes,
So I
yes,
have a
Renuka.
question. So you have shown requirements gathering all the phases from in the project entire life cycle, right? So I have worked
Mm-hmm,
in end-to-end projects like this. I have gone through all the stages from
mm-hmm,
requirements gathering as a business analyst only. I have worked earlier. Right now, I'm looking for the projects. So what
mm-hmm,
makes me interest to join this call is you mentioned that ServiceNow business analyst, right? So right now
mm-hmm.
you just you have walked through all the phases from requirements gathering to the hypercare like maintenance and support, right?
Right,
So
right.
when are you going to show up with the service now like after the sessions or so just I'm just curious to know like how is it interrelated with the service now. So usually from my end service now I have worked in support and hypercare support issues whenever we are seeing
Mm-hmm,
any product is not functioning properly, any application is not working as per the expectations, so that kind of situations we are using the service now tool to go through the ticket and where is it stopped and how is it progressing, and end of the day, I mean end of the period. So we have to submit that, resolving that ticket, and we have to submit to the business, right? So are we
Mhm.
going to see that kind of situation here, or how is it related to the BA and service now here?
Okay. So first thing, you are using ServiceNow as a tool, as an end user, or you are part of a support team who is fixing the bugs in ServiceNow.
I am working in a support team. So I have
Mhm.
worked in requirements gathering. I have worked with the development team. Once the product is ready, I have reviewed internally, and then we are going to get approvals from the
Mhm.
business, and then we are deploying into the production after testing, after the test environment gone. So in the support phase, I have worked that one also. I have worked in support phase also. So we have raised the issues in support during the support and hypercare
Mhm.
stage. I have worked in service
Mhm.
now, raising the tickets, taking the issues from the client, and I have to raise the tickets in service now. So that's where, like, I'm curious, like, are you
Right,
going
right.
for the next stage of that, or how is it related?
Right. That is where I'm coming to. So first part, you mentioned that you have used ServiceNow to raise the tickets, right?
Right.
So when you raise a ticket, there will be a form, and most probably when you have raised the ticket, that ticket would have been known as either it will be an incident or it will be part of defect. Which one you have used? Incident?
Both actually.
Both you have used. So when we
Yeah.
use incident, incident is part of ITSM. When we use defect, defect is part of SPM, right? So now how we are going to work is that when we will be working is, so in incident, suppose there is a customer who does not have ServiceNow. So for him, we will have to implement ServiceNow. So in that case, I will be working in a project known as Greenfield greenfield implementation. I am implementing ServiceNow for them from scratch. Maybe in incident, they will say that right now you will be seeing some fields on that incident form. So they will say, I do not need these fields, I need separate fields. So as a BA, you will be discussing what all fields are required. That is where you will gather those requirements, right?
Hmm.
We will
Right.
discuss all of them. I'll take you step by step. My first focus is that you should know what a BA will do. So we are discussing few things. Now, if I tell you what I'm going to cover in next classes, so this is I'll cover. We have done responsibility. We have done how a project looks like. We have done agile and scrum. Now, the next thing is what question you're going to ask. What all stakeholders will be there? Now, how will you get the requirements? What all question you will ask? What are the different meetings will be there? Also, when you will gather document, if they ask you to create diagram, how will you create diagrams? What are the different diagrams? How do you write use cases? How do you write user story? First, my focus is maybe next week we are focusing on fourth, fifth, and sixth. After this, I will move on to ServiceNow admin. So first, we'll understand the navigation in ServiceNow, how to move to the different. Say right now, you already have some experience in ServiceNow. You know what is incident and all,
Yes.
and then experience will be helpful for others. You can help others and also will learn, right?
Yes.
Then we will move towards ITSM, when we will learn incident. We will learn
Mhm.
how to raise incident. If a customer is saying, I want to improve something in incident, so we'll know how to implement or how to improve those things or how to take that enhancement, how to take that requirement. Then we will move towards defect, where it comes in SPM. I'll also
Right.
show you one more product, which is HRSD. So that is how we'll move forward. So we are covering all of those things in short.
Okay. Okay. In upcoming sessions. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Thank
Definitely.
you, Jay. Yeah. Perfect.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other query?
Uh, Hi Jay.
Hello. Yes. Sorry,
Hi
Sudesh,
Jay.
we went
Uh,
little more. We covered little
no, no,
more
no. It's
time,
all good.
but
It's all good. It's all. That's all good. That's all good. Yes, we want to make sure that we clear all the questions. I have a common question. So it's one of our students were asking. You know, um, what kind of studies they should do after your session. Today we talked about, Scrum framework. We talked about design, development, test, and we talked about product backlog, sandbox environment.
Mhm,
So like based on this class, let's say
mhm.
a person, a candidate, of our candidates have to put in their time to study. So what kind of approach they should do from here after each
Okay,
of your
sure.
sessions?
Done. Let me explain it here. So, what you need to do is right now we are in BA roles and responsibility. BA fundamental. So, first thing that you will have to do without even asking is revise whatever we are doing. Right? Just go through this training once again and understand the concept. And when you are going through these recordings, record your queries if you have any. Second thing is maybe not this week, but next week onwards, you will start receiving assignments. How the assignment would look like? See, I'll give you one small requirement. I'll show you. See, this is how you will receive the assignments. That assignment is you will have to cover as is and to be. Scenario I'll give, and then this is your task you will have to do. But before I give you any assignment, that assignment would already be discussed in the class. Not the same assignment, but something like this. So maybe in this week you might not receive any assignment, but ensure that from next week, from the coming week, you will receive assignments. Now, since we are in BA phase, we only have these two things to do. But when we move to the service now, then the third thing would be to practice everything on PDI. PDI is known as Personal Developer Instance, which is also known as your sandbox. Also, by end of each of these phases, you will receive a study material. And as and when we start moving to the next phases, you will also receive some case studies. Case studies as in some questions which have already been asked, some assignment which have already been given, which have already been asked. I mean, you will start receiving these study materials. Then as and when we'll move to the certification part, I'll also share some information, some questions that you can practice. So consider this week we do not have any assignment for you. For now, you can just revise these topics, whatever we have discussed for the first three classes. If you have any query, you can we can discuss it in the fourth class, which is happening on Monday. But from next week onwards, you will receive assignments, you will receive study material, and from ServiceNow, when we'll start ServiceNow, we'll have our personal developer instance, which is your sandbox. There, whatever we are doing, you will have to replicate the same onto your sandbox. And you will have to do it on daily. Since we are only having three classes, you will get a day rest, right? So you can practice. Maybe if you are able to do it, if you are not able to do it on the same day, other day, you can do it um, on the rest day, alternate days, and rest of them you can whatever we have discussed like in three classes you can revise them on the weekends. So that's the study or the study plan would be. I hope that answers, Sudesh, or if someone has any query they can ask me.
Thank you, Jay. So, like how Jay has been saying that it's important to revise. So, how do we revise? So, let's say he's talking about sprint user stories. So, for the new guys who have never been in tech, then we need to have a curious mindset, guys. Okay, that curiosity will is when you start learning. You have to understand we are going into an interview. So what if they ask me for user stories? How to document a user stories? What are the components of a user stories? Right? And when the sprint is started, how do you prepare your product backlog items? How do you make sure you have the scrum masters in the sprint planning? How do you make sure acceptance criteria are written properly? What are the components of it? How do you deliver to your developers? What if they don't understand? What kind of support you do as a BA? Every possible question that is coming in your mind is a good question, and you need to solve that. Okay, I have to tell you that the folks who have successfully landed job through us, they have spent a massive time in self-study, guys. Okay, so let's talk about understand the record queries. So what is that? You know, have that inquisitive mindset. And as a business process consultant, when you're moving into this job, one of the important skills what you need to have is the ability to ask questions. Write down questions. Nobody's going to give you the question. If your manager is saying, hey, I want you to meet this particular person from the business side, and I want you to study their business. And so now they're not going to tell you, ask this questions, but they will tell you exactly, hey, this is the workflow we're looking for. Can you just get some information? So what you need to do as a BA, you will start writing every possible questions that you're going to ask the stakeholder, then run those questions through your manager, and then you go into the meetings. So asking questions are good. Okay, we are going to start a new batch. We have already started it. I see a lot of people are signing up this Saturday and Sunday, and come this week, we're going to have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday sessions on evening 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Whether you're in Mountain Time or Central Time or Pacific Time, you must come in Eastern Time. That's the only time we have for this batch. And Jay, he'll be providing you, leading you guys in this training from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so it's gonna be 8 to 10 weeks. We're looking at the training part, and then we go into the certification part. We will need a Scrum Master certification, and we also need a certified system administrator certifications. Okay, and any questions for me? I do want to share some few things before we close the session. Can I take control of the system, Jay, of the Zoom?
Yes, please. Yes, please. How do I share
Thank you
it?
very much. Yeah. How many of you guys have been in my info session? Can you raise your hand if you've been in my info session before?
I have.
So, okay, Hanisha is there. So, but a lot of guys who have not been there. So, what I'm going to do is, we are also going to, with this recording, um, I'll ask Josh to send you the info session recording as well. I've discussed in detail, how to, move into this career and stuff. But I do want to, share some few things here with you guys. Just give me a minute, guys. We're gonna wrap it up fast. Okay. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm just trying to turn on my iPad here. You all can see my iPad. Everybody,
Yeah.
we're good?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yep.
I want you guys to understand some few things. We need clarity before we're getting into. Okay, if you don't have clarity, then you will not know your next steps. Okay, we as a company here, we provide a lot of clarity because clarity provides motivation. Okay, and you need to be highly motivated to do this transition because these are not the kind of things where you just come and try it. When you put your leg into, you can. So the thing, this what you have to understand is, as a BA, this career does not have coding. So if you are starting as a as a tech to industry, you must start into a career which does not has coding so that you can get up to the speed. Okay. Secondly, this career is in high demand right now. The stocks are doing really well, and I have seen in the process of 3 months, our folks have taken interviews between 15 to 17 interviews. Okay, I want to tell you this, I'll emphasize this. Very few will pass the interview in the first go. Many of you will fail minimum 2 or 3 or 4 interviews before you land in to your first consulting job. And I tell you what, it's normal. Yes, I want you to get a job right at the back, but it's normal in the process of transitioning. You will fail at least give and take 3 and 4 interviews, but every time you fail in an interview, you only get better and better. Okay, so we are offering resume marketing services. So we will market you in US and Canada. If you're in UK, yes, we do. We are currently offering services in US, Canada, UAE, and India at the time, and we move people around a lot. A lot of Canadians and folks who are in US who have been there for a while, they want to get close to India. They're moving to United Emirates, which is a hotbed for ServiceNow, not just the whole technology. You know what, you'll see a lot of people saying, hey, this, job market is not doing and all these things. We're not looking at the job market. We're looking at the job market of ServiceNow. Okay, ServiceNow is a career right now which is in high demand. A lot of people do not know what is ServiceNow, let alone they don't even know what is happening in BA in ServiceNow. They lot of 91% of people don't understand there are jobs. You know why? The first thing what a normal person will do is, well, they'll go into Google, they'll go into LinkedIn, they'll go into Indeed, they'll go into Dice. Okay, they look into this 3 platform to see how many jobs are there showing up for ServiceNow BA. What you do not know is in ServiceNow, there are roles like ServiceNow Business Process Consultant, ServiceNow Business Process Associate, ServiceNow BA. We are targeting for this role, but I've seen some of our candidates directly got this role, like Abhishek. 1 month back, he got a job as a business process consultant. He comes from no IT background, but we made it there. And there are roles which care ServiceNow functional manager, functional engineers, functional consultant. There are many designations. So what you have to understand is there are only like I would say give and take 5 to 10% of jobs show up in Google and everywhere. Almost 90 to 95% of the jobs they are moving under staffing community. Okay, this is not one of those careers where you're seeing hundreds of jobs in Google. That's not how you're going to design. Okay, because even the clients know that. Okay, they are picking up only the last 3 years. For them to get a consultant fast, they have to move to staffing agencies. So that's why we are here. We are currently operating close to 500 to 600 vendors who have end clients. Okay, and what we do in Lead Techno is we source consultants to them, to the vendors, so they can position those consultants to their end client. So you will be in a contract with the vendors or with us. Okay, so what we do in our resume marketing services, we position you guys. You may be in our payroll or you may be in a vendor's payroll. End of the day, you'll be in a client's. What you have to understand is there are full-time jobs and then we have contract jobs. There is no part-time. Okay. Now it's up to you to decide whether you want a full-time or you want a contract. Okay. Um, in US, we are seeing the pay starts from 130 and goes up to 160K at the time. In Canada, we are doing a 95K to 130K. In contract, we are looking somewhere between 40 to $90 per hour. Sorry about my voice today. I'm not doing very well. I got picked up some cough somewhere, allergy. So $40 to $90 in the contract. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. So the first phase is the BA interview alone, training alone will go for 2 weeks. Then when we go to ServiceNow, we're going to start with the admin tool. Then we're talking about ITSM. then we are looking at HRSD, then ITBM. Okay, and all of these things which I will deliver for you. This is phase one. Also, we finished the training now. So this is the training phase, guys. Knowledge is important for this. You're acquiring a skill. Okay, I want you guys to understand. I have folks getting jobs in all the regions. Okay, so it's a global consultant you're going to become. So you don't have to depend on your job market for living. You can get jobs from overseas. Okay, so it's a great skill, and you're going to get it down. Next is certifications. So we are needing two certifications here. In general, what you have to understand is somebody to move into ServiceNow, basically they need a system administrator certification, and they also need CIS ITSM. ITSM is like a bread and jam of ServiceNow. One of the top modules in ServiceNow is ITSM. Then comes HRSD. Then comes ITOM. This is according to our North American job market. And then you have, SecOps. Then we have legal. Okay, and then we have field service management, and then customer resource management tool. There are many more, but these are the top tier modules which we want to be very very familiar with. But right now, for our market, as long as we know HRSD and ITSM, this will secure you a job in a matter of weeks. I have seen our guys getting job in 3 weeks to 7 weeks, provided you're doing your interviews well. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that these are the top modules we are focusing here. Okay, but do we have, so this CSA certification is 300 USD, which you will be taking from the ServiceNow University. Okay, do we need the certification right now? If you have all the time in the world, go for it. If you don't have time, don't worry about it. You can go into an organization who's a partner with ServiceNow. Once you can take all the certifications from there. You will need to do a CIS in ITSM, CIS in HRSD, and you can continue to do CIS certification. CIS means Certified Implementation Specialist. Okay, where it gives you a specific knowledge on that particular module. The more modules you know, more projects you worked on implementation and support, better your income will be. Okay, this is a certification phase. Now, what you have to understand is, as somebody who starts as a ServiceNow BA can branch out to become an implementation specialist, which is nothing but an architect. And if you have a good executive skills where you can speak to executives, then you can also become an account manager, or you can also call as BDMs. Okay, these guys are very powerful guys. And then we're talking about partners. At the ServiceNow BA, let's say you're touching 160K. At an architect level, you're touching 200K. At an account manager, a BDM level, you're touching somewhere between uh, 200 to 300 to 400K. At a partner, guys, they're making somewhere between 300 to 800K a year. So they work incentives, plus they bring in the projects. Account managers and BDMs, they manage multiple projects in an account. And then implementation specialists are the guys who are specific, who are providing solutions to the projects. Some of you guys will also become PMs down the line. Okay, and they all make money. So there are, and then you may become an SME in modules. Okay, so right now, this income is different for different regions. If you have to follow the growth, right now I see the growth is more on APAC, Asia Pacific, and we're seeing in Middle East, and then we also see growth right now in Latin America. Okay, these are the emerging markets I see, but you may be working from Canada or from US. There's a lot of remote jobs out there. So we are seeing growth in this three regions. We are seeing our guys getting jobs from US and Canada, and then if you are in UK, there's another big growth over there as well. So I follow the technology, and I want to bring that information to you. It's important for you to understand how this career goes. For the new guys, you have to understand there are two components are very important in this career transition. The one is your career needs to be in cloud, another one in AI. Okay, ServiceNow is running in in Azure and AWS cloud platforms, and ServiceNow's Now platform is running in agentic AI. Okay, so now is it possible for you to learn both? I don't recommend that because these both of these careers are engineering careers. If you are a person starting off new, and if you are a kind of person who does not want to get into coding, then we don't want to go into engineering careers. We want to go into analyst roles. The best role right now to move in is BA. What I want you to understand, we don't train people on regular BAs over here because you're going to have a tough time getting a job. We want to specialize on a product, not on a domain, not on a sector. Okay. And so when you learn ServiceNow, which is in cloud and AI, the good news is you're highly marketable right now. Do we need to know cloud certifications or do we have to do AI certification right now? No. Down the line you can do it. So it's done. Also, you have to understand is ServiceNow as a product is highly trending in banking sectors, in insurance sectors, in retail, supply chain, healthcare is very big, government sectors, what else? Oil and gas. Each of these sectors pay you different. Okay, so you don't want to miss that. Okay, each of the sectors are different, and what you have to understand is the same kind of systems which are used in all these sectors, but it's not the same thing with Salesforce. Salesforce has a different system for different domain and sectors, so it's very hard for you to move around. So what happens is when you have a ServiceNow knowledge, your job market will open in all these sectors. So you are highly marketable. You all following me, guys? Are you all following me?
Yes.
Yes? Can I have a
Yes.
yes?
Yes.
Yeah? We need to understand where we are getting into, guys. You need to know where you need to put your mind and money into. Okay, we need a career, we need money. Money is going to come. Money is really, really good. It's worth putting our effort into it. And you don't have to worry about jobs. That will be a last concern because you will get job in all the sectors. In Canada, we don't have big jobs in government, but usually we have in banking, insurance sector, and supply chain. In US, I see the big jobs are coming from healthcare, uh, and banking, insurance, pretty much every sector is doing great in US. Okay, so obviously they also pay very well. If you're a Canadian citizen, we can help you transition to US. Yeah, so the way we help is totally depends on your visa status, where you are located, and your resume and all the stuff. Okay, so coming back to this point, like yeah, ServiceNow will take care of your job market. Now you have multiple doors open because you are becoming technical technology expert. And how do you kind of become that? It may sound like a big mountain, guys. No, it's like iPhone, learning a product. Like you buy an iPhone, you're going to playing around with that, right? Same like that. Are you going to get asked questions in rapid fire? We will take care of that. We know what kind of questions they're going to ask you. All those things, Jai will train you when you get there. Okay. So let's talk about some stuff over here. So where is that? So yeah, so we were in the certification phase. Okay. Now this 300 USD you're giving to the ServiceNow University. Now, after the certification phase comes the resume and interview questions. So this will be given to you. Your resume is custom made. It's not the same for everyone. So with your resume, what you have, we'll be preparing resume for you. Interview questions. You don't have to explore or download any questions from anywhere. I do not want you guys to get distracted and go into YouTube learning. You can study, self-study on what Jai has discussed in the class, but don't go for new materials, don't go for new certifications. It's not required. Okay. I don't want you to get overqualified. We only want to make sure you have knowledge enough to clear these interviews. Does it make sense, guys? Pawan,
Yes.
Archana, Chiquita, Hanish?
Yes.
Yes.
Faith,
Yes.
Yes, yes. Hmm.
which allow most of the people here from South Asia. And what we do is like we are knowledge hungry, right? So we want to do study well, we want to do that certification, and we're hoping by having the certifications we'll get a job. The answer is no. We don't want to overqualify yourself. You have to understand how this hustle works. Okay, we're gonna go in and you're gonna finish this training. We're gonna get certified. We're gonna understand our resume. We're gonna understand our projects, which is going to be delivered to us. I'll show you how those things look now in a few seconds. And then we prepare only on these areas and they prepare for mock interviews. And with mock interviews, with Jay, you need to pass at least 60% when we see that you're ready and we get into resume marketing. Okay. Now, the part which you have to understand here is the training part, this area, including certification, I'm sorry, including certification, this part, all of this thing included. For Canadian guys, usually it's 2000 CAD, but we are offering right now at 1800 CAD, and you have 3 installments. Okay, we're not asking you to make full payment. I know it's very challenging. I want to make sure it's affordable for you and everything. I do want you to know there is no other company helping folks to move into ServiceNow Business Consultant right now. We are the only one. Okay, I could have made it 2000, 3000, 5000, but I didn't, because we are dealing with real people, regular families who wants to make a career, wants to do well in life. I want to provide the best service at a very affordable price so that it's a win-win situation for all of us. Okay, you're going to get a very high quality support, and we want to make sure that it's doable for you. So we're offering 3 installments. So you pay the first installment, whatever it is, and then you start. For the US guys, it's actually 1450 USD, but we are now offering at 1300 USD. So it's not 1450, it's not. This is the Canadian price, and this is the US price. So we divide that into, yeah, and then you have a tax of 13%, which we have to pay for our province and federal, right? So now all these things are covered into that. So the first phase is you're saying, Sudesh, I'm ready for a mock interview. I don't want resume marketing, and I'm going to apply for the jobs. I get offer letter, and you guys take care of the background verification, whatever, if it's required. I said, okay, no problem. Offer letter comes, we give you support, and you land into a job. Option two is, remember I told you in the first stage that 95% jobs are moving within the staffing community. And this is where you guys will get stuck. It's not like any other career where you went into Google and you kept applying like 25 jobs a day. No, you can't do that because none of these jobs are not showing up there. So what are you going to do? You're going to wait. Lack of knowledge here. So this is where I recommend take full advantage of our services and our experience and our connections, what we have. We offer resume marketing service for 0 to 6 months. Okay. Majority of our guys will get job in 3 months, provided you're doing your interviews well. I've seen people getting jobs in 3 weeks and 7 weeks also. Okay. Now, what I really want you to understand is you're not paying for the 6 months. You're signing in a contract with us, which is once you get a job, you'll give us 10% on your gross salary plus tax. You'll pay in 6 to 7 bi-weekly installments, right? So if you're asking for resume marketing services, then you'll sign a contract. And every month we have workshops going on, which is performed by our trainers, our consultants, who will share how do you prepare for interviews, different project case studies. Is offered only for the resume marketing services. All right, folks who signed up for the contract. So this is what it is. And then you have 2 mock interviews totally free, which comes with this project. Anything about that, any kind of mock interviews with the trainers, it works up to 60 CAD, and I think it's 45 USD. Okay, so whatever it is, right? So you will completely take care of it. So now, what I want you to know is now you got the job. Now it's the first job, and in the contract you don't know what to do. So we give you something called job support. We help you in the projects. We'll guide you what to do, next steps. We're not doing the your deliverable. You are the one who's going to do it. We're going to teach you how to fish. We're not going to fish for you, okay? Because we don't want to set you up for failure. We don't do proxies over here, okay? We want you to organically study with us, have a career for life, and do well for yourself. That's what I want, right? So we don't have shortcuts. Yes, we will expedite the whole process through our connections. We know exactly what you need to study. We know exactly what you need to prepare for the interviews, what level of knowledge and competencies you need to have. You got it. But I want you guys to challenge yourself, and that is how it's going to work. And that's the only way it's going to work. Okay. Projects, next steps, and we're going to give you consulting. Our trainers will be there. Like Jay, in your case, Jay is your consultant. He knows you from get-go, from the class. What is your strength? What is your weakness? Right? So when you're in the session, you need to ask questions, connect with your trainer. They're gonna go, your friendship with the trainer is gonna go a long way. He's got tons of experience in various modules. He's a senior consultant. So you're going to get repeated help from for many years, right? So make friends with him. Okay, so we're going to give consulting. So we're going to help you make sure you manage each task. And what I want you to know that becoming an ITB is very different. In IT world, you don't get work every day. When you get a job, get a task to do, you are given 2, 3 days time to do. So we will guide you. Okay. If you are from a tech background already, you want to figure out yourself, cool. But if you need, we are here to help you. Usually, these services range from up to 1,000 CAD a month, but market rate right now is running at 1,300 to 1,400 USD. But it is negotiable. You will do that with the trainers. You talk to them, and you figure out where you guys want to meet. Okay, I'll leave that. I don't interfere in it. So yes, so we are starting this coming Monday. Do you have any questions for me, guys?
I have a question. So, does this fee include the certification as well?
No, it does not. It does not.
Okay,
If
okay,
you're paying ServiceNow University, it does not include. No, it
okay.
does not. So you pay that. And I do want to tell you that this certification has dumps. We'll give you the dumps to pass, okay? And this dumps changes every year. So Jai gives you the most latest gems, and that will help you to clear it. I do want you to know that ServiceNow is one of when you become a technology expert as a product owner, product manager, you got to understand that they are evolving every year, twice a year, thrice a year. So you got to make sure that you got to understand what's going on in the product at the present time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you it's easy. I'm not telling you it's hard. But what I'm telling you is choose your heart, guys. All right. It takes a certain level of grit. I always see that it is the top 10% people getting the jobs faster in the whole lot. But I also know that the top 10% were also the bottom 10% at one time when they started the program. Okay. So for you to come to the top 10%, what you have to understand is there are few things. Okay. I always want to tell you that we are talking about skill here, and we're talking about will. Okay. You will get the skill, no problem. But if you do not have a strong will, then you cannot get this transition. Okay. So and that's where we come in. We work on your skills, and we also work on your will. And not everybody is mentally strong. People can get confused. I tell you what, one of the things which is going to happen while you're going to be in this session, somewhere you're going to get confused, somewhere you're going to get demotivated. Okay, somewhere you're going to get mixed up, somewhere you'll start having multiple questions. Okay, and you will feel doubtful about yourself. Okay, these all things are very normal as a human. Okay, what we have to understand is our mind does not want us to do everything, want us to be comfortable, chill out. We want to be in Caribbeans. We want to chill out in the beach, we'll have a tender coconut and chill out. That's what our mind wants. That's not paying our bills, right? For us to work in a mindset, we need a will. What I want you to understand is here we are preparing you for the interview. Please understand, you will never learn the job in the training. You're only learning portion of it where it will help you pass the interview. We want to pass. That's what we want, right? That's what we want. And once you pass the interview, we get the offer letter, you get into the jobs, and we give you project support, right? We give you project support, and then we make sure we complete the project successfully. This is how we finish the first project. So it's, you cannot figure out and jump. I know a lot of people like to figure out everything. They want to make sure it's 100%, only then I'll jump. No, I'm sorry to say it doesn't work that way. As long as you got all information laid out by Jay and Sudesh, you're good to go. Do your research in Claude, do your research in ChatGPT to check, is that Sudesh is right. He's saying there's jobs and service now. How is the scope of this technology? Look at it. A lot of service Salesforce guys are moving to ServiceNow. ServiceNow, Salesforce consultants are moving into ServiceNow. Clients are moving in, right? It's like the new iPhone of the technology. It's an AI. Um, this career is future centric, recession proof. During the COVID, ServiceNow is the only company which was not laying off. You can look up all those information. These are good things. This will give you stability. This will give you income, and it will all give you a recession proof career for next 10, 15 years. That's also good. Now, what I really want you to understand is we need here you to show up. I repeat, show up for trainings day after day. It's very important for you to, be in the environment of learning. You can't just show up like one day in a week and see things you're going to cope up. No, don't be overconfident. We are like babies here when you are coming in, but when you get graduated, you'll reach out to that level. Okay, you need to show up every session. You need to work on every shit. There is no catch up. We don't do catch up here. Okay, we're not catching up. Then it'll get pile up, then you'll get confused. So we're not doing catch up. If you don't have your schedule, talk to me. I'll see what I can do. Okay, we have other solutions for you. And another thing what you have to do is ask questions in the sessions. You got to understand Nishant is working from a IST time zone. You can't just pick up a call and talk to him. No, you need to go in a chat. You will have a chat WhatsApp group, and you will leave your questions there, and it'll get back to you, and then you all get questions in the next sessions, right? So, and I want is a lot of persistence, clarity, and then you also need patience. If you're rushing, you're not ready for this transition. It doesn't work that way. I know you've got bills to pay. Everybody got bills to pay. But unless you don't learn the skill, your recruiter is going to say, you know what, he or she has, does not have a grip on the technology, and you're going to get, losing interviews back to back. I've seen folks, some of my candidates who did not take my advice, and they were failing interviews back to back, and they were getting frustrated and they came back to me. At the same time, I had guys who took my advice, who slowed down in the interview preparation. They were able to make it in 2 or 3 interviews. These are the guys who made in 3 and 7 weeks, right? So we will give you the level of preparation what you need. We know what we are doing here, so we will help you. So a few questions. Does it include? No, it's not the one. Any other questions, guys, before I close the session today?
Hey, Sudesh, I am sure you had mentioned it, but maybe I missed it. So, do we, after our
Yeah.
classes are finished, do we get our certifications and then we start looking for jobs or resume marketing, or we?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 100%. Without certification, we will not be taken serious. It's
Yeah.
not normal for somebody to become a ServiceNow BA without certificate, especially when you're going into product. We got to take at least the administrator certification, and there are ways to do it very easily. Archana, we'll guide you when we get
Okay.
there. Okay.
Perfect.
We
Thanks,
have
Sudesh.
resources to guide you and finish it in record time. Don't even stress about it. I'll make sure you'll pass 100%. Okay.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you.
we know exactly. See, these are the kind of moving into a technology career can be very daunting, but with the help of experts, this can become very easy for you. Okay. So don't make life harder. Don't try to figure out. We figured it out for you guys already. Okay. So hi Saad, you raised a question, Saad.
No, no, I was just wondering, from starting next week, it's gonna be like full time. So, what's gonna be scheduled for that? If I've missed that
Monday,
part, I'm
Wednesday, and
sorry.
Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, perfect. So it's gonna be
Monday,
same how
Wednesday,
it
and
was this
Friday,
week.
8:30 p.m. Exactly. Yeah. So
Okay,
this week we
thank you.
did Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? Just to complimentary, but the real session, regular batch timings are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Karis, Milan, Pawan,
Yeah,
Rajdeep,
I have one.
Sapna, Shruti. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the recruiter called and said like, no, you are doing one-on-one. So like, are you like able to talk one-on-one like, so like
Oh
anytime?
yeah, you must talk. Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody, nobody is joining this batch without talking to me. I need
sure.
to know you guys. It's not only just about training you, Pawan. I
Yes, yes,
also need to know, you know, your work background, where you're located, because I'm the one who's going to architect everything for you, right?
absolutely. Agree. Yeah.
Jai's role over here is to give you the knowledge. My job is to transition you from to the job market. So I need to know you personally, your career background. We must get on a phone call. I do want to tell you, this weekend we're going to busy calling you. But if you're all set to go, um, I hope you guys have my number. If you do not, I'm gonna text it here. My number is 647-221. Check your chat here. I'm typing as we speak. My name is Sudesh Anand. You can look me up in Google, YouTube. We are everywhere in Chat GPT, Claude. There's a lot of information about me. You can look it up and reviews and everything. So don't wait for us to reach you. We have a huge call, so we will try to call you guys. But if you're ready to go, just text me, WhatsApp me this number and say, I'm interested. I want to talk to you. Send me the invoice. Boom. And our team members will go get back to you. Or do we have Josh here? Josh, are you there? Thea, anybody's there, guys?
Hi, Sidish. I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Okay. Hi, Josh is my assistant, and she takes care of US and Canada market. She's a fantastic person. We have helping our business big time. I do want to let you know that she and the operations manager Tia, they work from Philippines, and my technical team works from India, and I'm in Toronto. All right. So if you get a call from Philippines, don't freak out. Okay. So my collect payments team work from India, Bangalore. Okay, one of my best friend's wife, Sam, she takes care of the payments. All the guys are working with us for a while now. We have a great staff, totally committed to help you. When you join the batch, these are the guys who are going to help you make sure day in and day out you're doing smooth. All right. So my phone number is there, 647-221-0315. Text me. I'm interested. I want to talk. And I will get on a phone call with you guys, and then let's see how we can discuss and see what we can do for you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sudesh,
Okay
one
then.
question.
And yes, yes,
Uh,
please.
something when we are preparing for the ServiceNow certifications, so at that time we are simultaneously like the people who don't have the Scrum certification. So we are preparing for both the certifications at the same time, right?
Scrum certification, you can get it in day or two. Okay. Which
Okay.
is,
Okay.
I'm not worried
Okay.
about that. Yeah, I
Okay.
would see there is scrum.org is there, Scrum Alliance is there, but these certifications are very expensive. Walk up to 350 to $500, So we don't need to invest that much. You can take from International Scrum Institute, it's 69 USD. And you
Okay.
for 150 USD, you'll pretty much get product owner and Scrum Master certification both. Okay. All of our
Mhm.
guys have taken certification International Scrum Institute. Day or two, there's no way you will fail. It's the most easy ones. That's all we need from the Scrum side. But yes, for the Scrum Master, for the CSA, ServiceNow admin certification, we'll provide you guidance. Yeah.
So there's like what you mean, like whenever like something simultaneously like for a person like me who is from a non-technical background, so like basically whenever the uh, currently when the trainings are going on, so simultaneously like a person like
Yeah.
me can on the background can do the certifications, right, for the Scrum and all the stuff. So till the time like when it comes the time of to do the ServiceNow certification, I already have the Scrum
Yeah.
certification, right?
You can do it if you want to do, you can. But the
Okay.
challenging part, what I would see is
Mhm.
when Jay is taking you through the instances, there's a lot of work you need to practice. assignments he's
Okay.
going to give.
Got it. Got it.
You'll be totally focusing on that. Simultaneously doing training and certification is it's not possible.
Got your
Because
point.
the certification requires undivided attention to clear it. It's not one of those certification we just studied. You really need to sit on it because those questions and answers which we're giving you, you need to practice in instances to understand the workflow and answer. So it requires like a full-time studies.
Got it.
So because you only have limited attempts, or else you end up paying for it again, and that's not fun. So this is what I've
Got
seen
your
in my
point.
experience. But of course, I will give you some guidance once you come in. We'll see what we can do to exploit this whole process for you.
Sure. Sure. No problem. No problem. Thank you, sir.
Very good. So how are
Uh,
you all doing, Milan? How are you doing? Yes, yes, go ahead.
Satish, I'm sorry. One last question. Like, in terms of commitment, right? Of course, we'll be attending sessions in here, but how many hours do you think per day is enough to be like, to master through whatever the learning is going to be here with Jay? How many hours do you think in
Good
terms of
question.
dedication?
Good question. See, usually during the training days for the next 8 to 10, I would say in the weekdays, if you put like minimum 2 hours is good per day. But in weekends, you put in more time.
Are
Okay.
you talking minus the
The
training
more
session?
minus the training session. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Per day, you need to put in at least 2 hours. You need to build momentum, guys. Right? We need to catch up. We are doing self-studies. Okay. So you need to put those hours. You literally have to eat, sleep, study. Right? And you're going to do it only once. Once you get into the job, you're going to be comfortable. Only for the next 3 months. We need that kind of commitment. Right? So we want to stop ourselves from all this vacation and whatever. Take a break from everything, focus, go 100% on it. In fact, when you come closer to interview preparations and project studies and everything, which we're going to give you, you will need to put more than 2 hours. 2 hours is nothing. When I did it, I remember like I was just, studying, eating, sleeping. That's what I did. Right? So you will need that kind of commitment. The more time you put into studies, the faster you'll finish your interview preparation, the faster you'll complete your mock interviews, the faster you'll be ready to get into the job market. Right? Usually people take 1 month to prepare. Majority of then there are people who take 2 months also. Right? So they take 2 months because they're putting less time. So less of the time, the longer you're studying. And we don't want to drag this. Okay, we want to finish it as quick as possible and get into the jobs and get on with the career and finish your first project. That's how it should be. Got it? Good, everybody? All right. So, guys, I need to close the session. You've been a great audience. I hope all the information helped you. We are very committed to help you. So this weekend, you'll need to make a commitment. We're going to reach out to you, and don't wait for us to reach you. Okay. If you're good, you're ready to go, text us, email us. You can also email uh, support.edu@leadtechno.com. Please make a note of this email ID and my phone number. I'll give you some few seconds when you do, as you do. Just copy paste it. You can email or phone number. You can WhatsApp me. WhatsApp is good. Okay, this is my business WhatsApp number. And you can just let us know, hey, want to join, want to talk to you. Cool. So we will reach out to you, and this by Monday, you should have paid your first installment and register yourself. These batches get filled up pretty soon. Okay. With that, y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy as much as possible because from Monday, we're going to start grinding, guys. Okay. You all have a great, enjoy the sun and have a great time with your family. And you all have a great night. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody. See you.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Sadesh. Thank you,
Bye.
Jay.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.